Hey there, I'm Katie from Life Fluent. If you found this video, it's probably because you're looking for a way to talk about diversity and inclusion in your classroom in a way that doesn't feel preachy and is really... You're being so loud! This is Rufus. He continues to ruin all the audio for these activities. And so I just thought I would at least let you know that if you hear any moaning and groaning in the background or weird snores, it is Rufus. And now you know. If you found this video, it's probably because you're looking for a way to talk about diversity and inclusion in the classroom without being preachy. If that's your intention, then this is the right video for you. So go ahead and like it, as well as subscribe if you're interested in getting more videos about this. The activity that I'm talking about is in the description. You can purchase it, but also if you don't want to spend any money and you just want to learn how to set this up, totally okay. And you can even customize it for your classroom if you choose to make it for yourself. So either option is open for you. I'm just glad you're here and that we can talk about a really effective activity for you. So I wanted to first go into a little bit of behind why I created this resource. I taught previously at an international private school, and we had students from all around the world. And it was awesome. I loved that we had so much diversity and so many different things to celebrate, so many different holidays. Can I just tell you, if you work at a private international school, the amount of days off you get for every single holiday is awesome. You've got Chinese New Year's, you've got Ramadan, you've got Christmas. I mean, it's just like more and more fun ways to celebrate. So we loved it. But obviously, when you get all of these kids and students together, you're gonna see a lot of prejudice come up and a lot of stereotypes and a lot of bias. I would hear so many of the students repeat things that their parents had said, or say some comments that you're thinking, how is this okay? Who taught you that you were allowed to talk about these things? So I'll give you a couple examples just so you kind of know what I'm getting at. But I was showing a video about some female explorers, and this boy raised his hand and he said, but miss, women can't be explorers. And he meant it like concerned, like genuinely concerned. He says, they'll get hurt. And I said, well, men might also get hurt. That's the point of being an explorer, is you're taking a big risk to see something that no one has ever seen before or done before. And yeah, it is risky. And he was like, no, but women are not supposed to be, put themselves at risk. They're supposed to stay at home and they have other tasks and duties. They're not strong like the boys. And the girl next to him got really upset. And that actually led to a really good conversation in the class. Does that mean he went home suddenly thinking completely differently? No, but the conversation was started in the classroom. We really quickly saw that a lot of these prejudices were happening. A lot of stereotypes were super strong in the school. And so the discussions were good, but we weren't able to really get to a deeper conclusion until I created this activity that, no, it's not going to solve everything. I wish it could, but it does bring about some really important introspection to the students. Let me show you what it is. You're going to start with a sheet of paper that has 7 names for 7 rounds, which means the name is repeated 7 times. The 7 names are repeated 7 times.
Hey everyone, it's Future Katie here. I forgot to mention that it's actually 6 rounds, not 7 rounds. So 7 names, but 6 rounds. And make sure that when you're selecting the people, here I'll just put up a picture of the slideshow so you can see. You're going to want to select 7 very different candidates. You're going to be changing age, for example, gender, religion, sexuality, trying to get as diverse of a group as you possibly can.
And then on the screen, you're going to have a PowerPoint that also has 7 slides with each of the rounds. And at first, you're going to want to introduce the class to your task. And do not tell them this is an activity about prejudice. That will ruin the activity. It will prep them to change their answers. You want this honest. So you're just going to say, hey everyone, welcome to class. We are going to be hiring an accountant. You have this company and you need to find the best accountant. And so I have 7 candidates for you to interview, and it's your time to select the best candidate. And you're going to start with round 1. And round 1 says, please eliminate one of the candidates. And the only information they're given is the first name. And what can you tell from somebody's first name? You can sometimes tell their gender. You can sometimes tell maybe their nationality or ethnicity, sometimes, not always. Sometimes you can tell their age, right? If it's a really an older name or a very trendy young name, sometimes you can tell that. But basically the first round, it's very limited information, and students are going to just quickly cross one off. They're not going to think much of it, and then you're going to move to the next round. And the next round is going to reveal last names, which is definitely going to give a little bit more information on where the person is coming from. Then you're going to move into round 3, where you get to see a picture of the person. And it can also reveal things like their body weight. It can reveal if they are attractive or maybe less attractive in the culture that you're living in. It can show things like someone's skin color, their hair color, their hair type, their gender, all of this, okay? So the picture is going to tell a lot more. Then you're going to move into the 4th round, 5th round, 6th round. At the very end, you'll be able to see what their actual qualifications are for the job, their education, but all of those rounds before are going to reveal things like their nationality, their sexuality, like their level of physical and mental ability. All of these things that we might potentially stereotype or judge about somebody are slowly, piece by piece, revealed until you have the person that they select at the very end. And obviously the last piece of information is if this person has any understanding of accounting. I have done this activity many, many years. Almost always, I see people choose the person in the end that is most similar to them. And it's not surprising when you think about it. We almost always lean towards people who are like us because we feel like we understand them, we can empathize more with them. If they look like us, they're a part of the same religious group as us. All of these things allow us to feel safe, whereas people that are outside from our own sphere take an extra moment for us to assess, are they safe? Can I relate? Do I understand? And the more differences that are stacked up, people tend to take a bit more time or tend to have more stereotypes about that. And it's, every person can claim that they're unbiased, but we all have prejudice. We all have biases. And this activity helps you see really quickly, wait a minute, this person has no background in accounting, yet I selected them just because they look like me, right? Like, how silly is that? And did I miss the opportunity to find somebody who would be really good for this job? And if you then anchor this activity in really good reflection questions, then it's an opportunity and a gold mine for them to reflect and understand why we have prejudices, how we can overcome them, and how they hinder us from making the best choices about people in our lives, not just in a hiring situation, but with friends and family and the partner we choose to date, all of these things. So it really is an amazing activity that I highly recommend you try. Either you check the one out in the description or you make your own, but it's a really great activity. One thing I also wanted to add, and this is completely free, is a website that Harvard put up that helps you see where your biases are and your subconscious biases. It's a test that you can take. You can take them in different categories, so you can test it for, let's say, gender, race, body weight, age, all of this. And what you do is you select a category that you want to test your bias in. It shows you pictures and you're supposed to associate it with good things, okay? So you have a picture and you need to select good, and it keeps showing you these pictures very quickly, and as fast as you can, you're supposed to select and match them, right? And then it switches where you have to take that same picture and select only the bad connotations, okay? And you do this very, very quickly. And what it finds is how much of a delay is there between seeing that picture and associating it with good or with bad. And what that's going to show you is if your subconscious has stronger bias towards this person or this demographic, then it's going to take you a longer time to associate it with good and a faster time to associate it with bad. And they are able to switch it back and forth. So it's really like you have no time to think. And you're able to get your results back, and it can be really surprising to you. Obviously, it's not perfectly accurate, but it does give you some insights into where you potentially might hold prejudice. So, Rufus! As my dog decides to eat a bone right now. So, I am going to... He sounds like a monster. I'm going to let you you go on this, but check the links in the description. Subscribe if you're interested in getting more videos like this, and I hope to see you guys around. Thanks, everybody.